The first reviews of the Five Nights at Freddy's movie are out. The movie is coming out on Peacock on October 26th and in theaters on October 27th. While fans have been excited about the Five Nights at Freddy's film, some were worried about reviews coming so close to the movie's release. The review embargo on this movie lifts on October 26th. This has fans worried that Universal's expecting critics to give Five Nights at Freddy's harsh reviews. Let's take a look at some of the early critic reviews for Five Nights at Freddy's. Ian Sandwell from Digital Spy writes, "The movie certainly has the trappings of FNAF, but little of the appeal or tone of the games, which leaves you wondering who is it for. It's not tense or odd enough for long-term fans, while also not being engaging enough for newcomers." 2 out of 5 stars. The Hollywood Handle writes, "While Five Nights at Freddy's may trip on its own fragile and at times jarring screenplay, it leaps above to deliver a satisfying, fun, and thrill-worthy good time at the movies, offering a solid lease on life for any potential sequels that may already be making the corridors to us. It's a movie for fans, both old and new, consumers of all ages, and anyone who dares to ask the question, can they survive Five Nights at Freddy's?" 3.5 out of 5 stars. Neil Smith from Games Radar writes, "With robot heads containing flesh-mangling chainsaws, faces resembling that of battle-scarred Terminators, Freddy Fazbear and his pals would seem precision tools for terror. Sadly though, they're about as scary as Barney the Purple Dinosaur in what is ultimately a ploddingly predictable gore-light yawner." 2 out of 5 stars. Rory from Joe writes, "The entire endeavor sprawls out endlessly from that relentlessly dull first night. The script has next to zero humor in it, so any hopes for some spiteful laughs are entirely misplaced. There's hardly any gore and not one inventive kill to be found, so that is another box left unticked. For the actual horror itself, it comes entirely from cheap jump scares, not even decently placed ones like you might have got from the source games. Just most of the basic loud noises to announce the sudden arrival of something on screen. It is lazy and it isn't scary at all." Maria from Film Story writes, "Five Nights at Freddy's continues what's been a disappointing streak of horror films and what has been otherwise a stellar year for films. It's an uninspired adaptation afraid to break free from its source material, but also unable to translate what makes the game compelling into cinematic form. If The Last of Us represented the best possible version of a video game adaptation, Five Nights at Freddy's represents what happens when things don't go to plan. Bottom line, should the movie appear on one of the security monitors in the game itself, I'd simply be inclined to switch the monitor off." 2 out of 5 stars. So far the reviews don't seem very positive, but if you're a fan of the games, I'm sure you would still watch it on the big screen. Are you gonna watch it? Let me know in the comments.